Beats here from Pop Alternative, speaking to stunt coordinator Yan Petrina about season 2 of The Wheel of Time on Prime Video. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, hi, Peter. It's good to be here.
I
Thanks for
mean,
inviting me.
I'm really excited to chat with you about this. One of the coolest things specifically with season 2 of The Wheel of Time is this combination of everything looks so cool, and then there's all these amazing kind of action sequences. You know what I mean? So, like, from an aesthetic point of view and from a stimulation, like, you're looking at everything all the time because it looks so cool and there's a cool fight scene. Credit to you. Like, is that crazy to kind of see everything come together after with the edit, to see that kind of combination of the amazing fight scenes,
Well,
the amazing visuals? Like, it's pretty amazing to be part of, I would assume.
I'm glad you like it. It's not only up to us; it's the directors as well, like Sana and Thomas and Maya. All of these guys that they have the ideas, and of course Rafe and the showrunners and Dave and Justin and all these guys involved. Raimi involved, and it's all a teamwork. We talk about it and we give them some ideas. We throw some previews in there, and they watch it and say, okay, we really like that or not. And so it's a teamwork. It's a lot of building, from the beginning of the show and all the preparations till the shoot.
That's a good kind of segue to my first question. I was really excited to ask you about, because you worked on so many amazing things, but you've worked on so many amazing things as the stunt coordinator and as the stunt performer, doing the stunts, organizing the stunts. Obviously,
Yeah.
the task aspect of it will change a lot. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
is the mindset similar compared to coordinating and performing the stunts?
I think so, because all you learn with the years, you just want to pass it on, and you want to, a lot of the ideas as a performer, they're not always used because there is someone else in charge, and they've got their own ideas and they want to do it their way. So finally, you get to actually what you've learned in the years, you get it to pass it on, and then show what your creativity is and what you've learned in the years. So I love that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
One of the big things we love, especially when swords are kind of involved, is we love the big fight scenes. You know what I mean? The big moments and everything. When you are kind of talking to your team about how we are going to make this big and memorable, what are kind of the
Yeah.
first kind of questions or things to kind of figure out with the characters specifically? Because there's a lot that goes into a fight sequence, but what are
Yeah.
you thinking about in terms of making it big early on? Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Well, again, we speak with Rafe and everybody else, and we see what the scale should be, and of course, what the time we have to prep things, and what the time we have to shoot things, of course, because the more people you have, the longer it takes to prep everything, and then also the cast is extremely busy on the show, and we want the cast to be mainly involved in doing their own kind of stunts and fights, and as much as they can. Of course, there are little bits and pieces that the production doesn't allow them because of insurance and all that stuff, but most of the fights and things the cast is doing. So it's also talking with the cast, and we already know them because it's 2 seasons we spend, and like COVID break and all the stuff. You know what they can do, so you know how to design their fight, and you know what they're capable, and how far you can push them, and then who works really hard and who feels like, what, I want to take it a different way and stuff. So again, collaboration and stuff, and of course it's a team where we've got great sword master, and all the, like, Marek Switek, the other stunt coordinator. So it's all ideas throwing together and then trying to pick the best.
Both seasons obviously had a lot of action, a lot of stuff. It's been 2 seasons of The Wheel of Time. An argument could be made, in my opinion at least, like everything was upped from a kind of action component of it and a lot of the fight sequences. Obviously that is the point, right? When you come back for a second season,
Yeah.
you always
Yeah.
want to make it bigger and better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was it like returning for season 2 specifically? Getting everything kind of ready, like early on. Like, I'm just curious about that, like the mindset of like
Well,
coming back for another season.
funny you say that. It felt like we never really left because of COVID. We had to finish season one while we started to prep season two. So we were basically finishing the last, episodes of season one, already thinking and talking with the guys about season two, and thinking, okay, we need to make it bigger. The action is a lot bigger. There's a lot more action overall, and we know, like, the actors are now more prepared, because first time we saw them season one, they kind of started, and a lot of them was new. It was new to hold the sword, to do the fights, but now it was already like more than a year that we spent together. So again, the work was a little bit easier, so we could think bigger, overall.
an ensemble cast for the Wheel of Time, and all the actors are incredible and they do an amazing job. And you also have, stunt performance, and some of the actors I know do a little bit of their stunts here and there. But I'm just curious because in season 2 of the Wheel of Time, and I don't want to go into big spoilers. When I do these interviews, Jan, I don't talk much about the storylines because you never know that all of a sudden, boom, it's like spoiler city. You know what I mean? But like, there's some very kind of complex storylines this season with conflict and characters that have goals and everything. How much of it is important is it in terms of putting a lot of the character storylines and kind of personalities and traits into the fight scenes? Do you think about that a lot? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, like when you mentioned, yes, of course we do. And it's again, like when we do some fight, they say, oh, it's just a fight. No, it needs to be more character driven. So then again, we speak with the cast and say, okay, what do you feel like your character should do and what the character would do? And, we talk about it and kind of create, adjust the action and do these things together. So it's fun, it's challenging.
But it's fun too to also think of things like, how many times does it happen where it's like you have the meetings, okay, all right, this is happening, this is the fight sequence for episode 5 or something, right? But then like, do you go to bed the next day and say, oh, I have another idea? Like, does that ever happen or not really?
Well, it does. And a lot of the times you say, oh, we want to do this, and it's like, oh, well, but no, like we cannot do it because the character wouldn't do it. It's like, oh, but it would look so cool. And it's like, it's a lot. Sometimes you need to forget that your job is the action and stuff, and kind of, work, with the story and the drama and everything. And at the end of the day, it's all, about the story. It's not only action. So, and I think that makes it better, of course.
One of the coolest things about, doing these interviews, the behind the scenes, you kind of learn a lot about kind of different professions and a lot of how things were made and everything. I feel like when people look at, the profession of a stunt coordinator or stunt performer, the world of stunts, a lot of people might kind of assume certain things or think certain things are that's how it is type thing and anything. Are there any misconceptions on the top of your mind, Jan, in terms of the work of a stunt coordinator or a stunt performer that come to mind where people are like, oh, it's like this, right? Jan, you're like, no, it's not like that at all. Anything that comes to mind misconception-wise?
Well, it is because sometimes you do these like big stunts and people clap and you do like high fall and fire burn and stuff. And then those are actually one of the more easy things to do because it's like you fall once and it's big and everybody's like, wow, but then you do things like you need to just run and fall only 2 steps down, but you do it like 50 times. So you go home and you're completely aching everywhere and you're beaten up and everything. And no one thinks it's a big stunt, but it's actually sometimes so much harder. And then, you're a performer, and then ladies say, oh, I want to be a stunt coordinator. I want to do all this creativity and I want to do these things. I say, okay, well, we would like you to coordinate this project. And then you end up sitting a lot of the times just at the, in the office, and you do risk assessments and you do explain to the insurance company what you're going to do with the cast. And so suddenly the job becomes very different from what you've done the whole life. You came, or you always go to set with your clear head and okay, I'm just going to fall down here. And then you finish, you go back home and you don't have to think about the next day really, or prep yourself, except going to the gym or practice, another skill or something. But then stunt coordinator, you come home and your work just continues. So it's very different. And it's like, it is sometimes you think, oh, I should have just stayed doing stunts until I could. And then, it's, but again, it's like,
you're always aiming for the new goals and the new challenges. Right?
Yes, you do. And it's nice to see, you see all the young guys doing the job and you can see yourself how you started, and it's like, oh, that's me like 20, 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. And you feel like I need to give them the opportunity, because when I was young, it's like it took forever to kind of push through and someone trusting you to do the stunts. And now you can kind of open the door to the guys that you feel like they've got the skill and also they've got the personality, because you need someone who's good for the team. It's not only the skill, but you need someone when you say, oh, I need to bring a few crash mats. You want them to jump up and run for the crash mats. It's not only the stunts, but it's also all the prep. And, someone is falling. Oh, I need help. Let's prep the catcher. Let's prep the soft ground for them. and they run and help you. So, you know, you want to surround yourself with people that help you to achieve the goals and the visions.
Absolutely. And the finale of season 2 of The Wheel of Time is right around the corner. I mean, it's crazy. The episodes are rolling out. It gets bigger and bigger, and I can't wait for people to see it. Yeah, seriously, it was an honor and privilege to speak with you. And I just want to say, I want to make sure I say this. I mean, you know, we know, you know, a lot of people that watch a lot of TV and film, we know the work that goes into what you do. And I just wanted to say thank you, because if it wasn't for guys like you, we would not have these incredible things to watch that kind of allow us to escape during kind of tough times and busy times. So I just wanted to say thank you, seriously.
Well, it's absolute pleasure for me, and thank you too, because you know, without you guys that love it, there would be no work for us as well. So
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and all the best, and really, really happy to have you on
well.
Pop.
Thank you
Thanks so
too.
much, Jan.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.